have an unfair advantage, there's no doubt. They were born a man and they're naturally stronger.
Yeah.
So it depends on how big your following is. You know, if someone has 100K followers and poor engagement and they try to do their own merch, it's gonna be hard to argue that they're gonna do better than a company sponsoring them, giving them consistent money. Yeah, I think you wanna have a large following before you go ahead and take that plunge.
So who's, I mean, outside of you, who's like, what's happening in the powerlifting world right now? Who's like the top guy? I mean, besides what you do, obviously, like who else is out there? I don't know, like.
You got Ray Williams, shortest lifter in sleeves of all time. You got this guy who just smashed the biggest raw tool of all time, Daniel Bell. That happened a couple of days ago.
Right, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, he broke Andre March's record that stood for years. So he just made a big splash with that. Other than that,
are they part of the same organization or like different powerlifting organizations? You guys know about that?
I know that they're a different organization. I don't know whether they're part of the same or not. Do you know?
D-Bell competes at a different Fed. Ray strictly competes at IPF, right?
Okay.
Yeah, he only competes in IPF.
It's hard to follow that stuff, man. Just like
There's so many different feds.
Yeah,
There are a lot.
I think in a powerlifting, somebody should like unite it under either one or have like some kind of a one page that just follows powerlifting, where you have all the stats, all the standings. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to follow,
And
man.
then you have powerlifting, all the different divisions. So raw, that's Larry.
Raw meaning
have, like,
no reps.
No wraps, and no. I mean, you can use sleeves and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But there are people that are bench press shirts and stuff like that, and squat suits. And, yeah, it's crazy.
What you guys think about this controversial issue right now? Basically, you have transgender men that go into bodybuilding, they go into powerlifting competitions, and let's say they do well because they win. So many people are against it. Some people say leave it alone. I mean, how do you have an opinion on that? It's a pretty controversial subject.
Yeah.
They have an unfair advantage, there's no doubt. They were born a man and they're naturally stronger.
Yeah.
So,
I kind of agree with that.
you know,
It's a bit unfair, especially when it comes to like track and field events and stuff like that, where you have a guy that changed to female characteristics, but then has testosterone still in the system.
Right.
They're obviously a lot stronger still than many of the women that they're going against.
The question is how you do with it. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like a different
Maybe
division?
they could have their own, separate
Division?
organization. Division.
yeah, I think that's the right thing to do.
Have a division?
I think so, yeah.
But we'll see how things pan out over the next couple of years. Now that it's becoming a big subject.
I guess if it becomes more and more and more, then they're gonna have to do something, right?
Yeah. Because we don't know if we have the right answer there.
Oh yeah, of course.
All I know is I started taking hormones to make me a woman. I'd be much stronger than any other woman that has ever been alive.
So right now, Larry, you focus on your own brand. Obviously, you have your own apparel brand, right? Yeah. And you also have your own sports nutrition company.
Oh, you do? You have a
Yeah.
supplement company?
Supplements, yeah, pre-workout, BCAAs, that kind of stuff. Yeah. No protein yet.
This is your own too, right? You own it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all on your team, personal record.
So you basically run that with your own team, right?
Yeah, I have some guys in LA with a warehouse. So,
Your own warehouse, your own team. Yeah.
yeah, they're great.
Is it more lucrative to have that as opposed to being signed to a company?
It depends on how big your following is. You know, if someone has 100K followers and poor engagement and they try to do their own merch, it's gonna be hard to argue that they're gonna do better than a company sponsoring them, giving them consistent money. Yeah, I think you wanna have a large following before you go ahead and take that plunge.
That's a good point.
I mean, but then again, like Gerard, when he started MHP, he didn't have social media.
That's true.
He didn't have to have 2-3 million followers. He just did it.
But he had a lot of magazine advertising.
Because he's an old school guy, right? MHP is a company from back in the day, yeah.
But for like an athlete, if you're an athlete, not a businessman, I would say you need a large following for sure.
You do, right?
Yeah, you do. You definitely need a large following.
Because it seems like the market is so oversaturated. It seems like there's so many supplement companies out there, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, something original would really separate, someone trying to come up right now from the pack because, they all have more or less the same ingredients and
Similar, it's a different packaging, basically.
yeah.
It's crazy because we deal with a lot of like different athletes, and it's always becomes a situation. What do we do? Like, do we say go this route or this route? And it becomes a situation where you have to guess evaluate how much money you can make from the supplement company, right, to make the best decision. Oh, it's crazy.
And supplements are harder to push than clothes and lifting gear. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's harder to push that.
It's also, you have lower margins as well, I think, in the sports nutrition space. It's harder, it's more expensive to produce like a pre-workout than it is to produce like a line of merch.
Definitely.
The good thing is that Larry has lots of different sources of income. You know, he has the supplements, and then he has, of course, the clothing line. He has lifting gear, and then he also has programs. That are
Online training, yeah, that's.
The programs are not more geared towards diet nutrition or more strength training.
Strength training.
Strength training.
Yeah, strength training for sure. And then YouTube ad revenue is pretty lucrative right now. Lucrative right now. Lucrative right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, he has a pretty well-rounded kind of diversified business model too. That's great.
Trying to attack every angle, leave no corners unchecked.
Are you still gonna do expos? Like go to the expos as far as having a booth and stuff like that? You still able to do that?
We got Dubai Muscle Show on the 4th.
How was that show?
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, our first time. Yeah.
So that'll take you back home, basically, right? Essentially.
Is that?
We'll take you back home to Dubai. Right?
Yeah.
I'm asking because like if you look at the expos now, it seems like a big decline happening. Like as far as like every major show, like when you go there, it's like less and less, exhibitors and stuff like that. I was wondering if you guys think that's important still to go.
I think it is still important to have exhibitors there. Yeah, I work backstage at some of the big shows, shooting for NBC News, so I don't really always get a chance to get out to see the expo itself. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because like for instance, the Arnold Classic, like I think last year, right? If you go there, so you see like a decrease of like people that actually exhibit there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, interesting.
Well, the Olympia more so, I think.
Olympia too, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of companies have pulled out. I think that starting out as a business to get more branding and impressions and more people with eyeballs is important to be there.
Yeah.
I think some of the older companies now have started pulling back from that.
Wonder why? Is it expenses?
I think it's the expenses.
It's definitely expensive,
I
yeah,
think a
because
lot
it's so
of the
expensive.
companies that we've worked with, that we talk to, they say the same thing. That, I think their ad revenue, they're able to see.
It doesn't justify the cost,
return
basically.
on investment from like a Google ad,
Right.
or Facebook advertising campaign,
Yeah.
than spending 30, 40, 50K on ads.
Well, one of the things that we've discussed is basically potentially going out to an expo, not necessarily to sell all of his stuff, but really so that Larry can engage with his fans.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. No, of course, yeah, for sure, yeah.
that's key.
So it's not even about having lots of stuff to sell there, but just to be there for the fans.
So when the fans see you, what are the most common questions they ask you? What do you think they're trying to get out of you when they see you in person?
What's the most common question?
Or like just what do they try to like talk to you about? Like is it more just about like advice into training, or is it?
Believe it or not, they rarely ask for advice. They just come to me and thank me for being inspiration to them. A lot of them are saying, whether they're young or old, that I got them to the gym, I got them to strength training, and they just show me appreciation.
Right. How do you deal with like? I mean, social media comes with negativity sometimes, right? I mean, how do you deal with it? Let's say people like would post negative comments about you or spread some news about you. How do you deal with it mostly?
Like you block them, or do you like
I never address it. I filter it out.
Yeah.
And just like you can't change the past, you can't change a troll's mind. I'm not going to try and change his mind about what he thinks about me. And
You never engage like back and forth. You never do it back and forth on them on social media.
never once actually. Yeah, never once. I don't
We've
do
seen,
it.
we've seen a lot of some big names in the industry go back and forth.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I don't understand why people do that. Like, why would you?
It sets a bad example for the people who are following you because they think it's okay to, go back and forth.
We have haters and guys and trolls all the time on our pages, and even guys like Lee Priest that we made a movie on, and he's just like talking crazy about it. But and then he's like, Generation 9 is just a bunch of guys that want to be bodybuilders that never were bodybuilders. Like, nobody's trying to be a bodybuilder.
Vlad, were you a bodybuilder?
I'm trying to.
Hey, Lee, we're trying to become bodybuilders.